Got a little bit late to the chart. I'm here around lunchtime, so I took a little lunch break. I had to work this morning. Um, so just looking at, here's some of the stuff that we marked up yesterday from things that we're looking at. Um, down on the 4 hour, we're looking at a possible entry into this area here. Just expecting price to come up. We'd played it out in the 5 minute on what we were looking for. Um, and nothing happened. Nothing happened within the 4 hour time period, and so there was no reason for entering. So that is how that played out. We can get rid of that now. Euro AUD, roughly the same thing. 4 hour time frame, we had a level we're expecting price to come out of. I say 4 hour, but it's actually daily. It was a daily wick close. I was waiting for the next daily candle to move up. We still have 5.5 hours, 6 hours left for this daily candle. So like, what would that look like on the 30 minute? Well, the current game plan was to wait for price to originally come down about 50%, then come up. That one never actually played out. This one coming further down and then coming up, we would still be in this one. And so what would that look like? We would be looking at something like this, a little bit outside the daily zone, just to make sure that daily zone looks right out here. It does touch the lower ends of these areas right here. So go back down to the 30 minute, and we would be looking at something like this on the daily. So currently would still be sitting in this trade right now and waiting to see what happens. Price could still in the next 6 hours turn around and flip up and at least close bullish, and then that would set up for a nice following continuous day next week starting Sunday. So we'll watch that one. Euro USD, same thing. I think we're down here on the 4 hour. We're expecting a bounce out of this area here. So go down to the 5 minutes on that one. And what we were looking for, we were looking for a pullback into 50% area and then a takeoff. That never actually happened. It just took off. So that never played out. Oop, got rid of my zone. No. I can probably get rid of the zone actually. Let's get rid of the zone, see what we're looking at. Clear up the chart. Yeah, so we're coming down. Get rid of all this stuff over here. Get rid of that. 4 hours ranging a bit. Looking to hopefully finally break this level here in the next hour or so. Close below this area. Then we'll see where that one travels out. Let's see if we get it close below. So move that one out of the way. GP CAD, same thing. What we're looking at, 4 hour, 5 minute. Yeah, so waiting for price to come back down to the 50% area. And then once that happens, setting up for that area there. Obviously, some point in time, price did come back down, and so I had an alert set, waiting for the next candle to actually get up there and tag it before it closed, but it didn't, so it just turned over. So that we can go away. Not worried about that. And so it's kept me out of a few of these trades that wouldn't have ended working out. Wick rejection here. Let's go down to the 5 minute. Expecting the same thing, expecting price to come up into the 50% area, never actually happened, and so didn't get into this trade. Good to go there. And so that is that. Outside of that, these trades are still running. Waiting for this to continue turning over and falling back down. Same thing for AUD NZD. It may come up a little bit higher into the zone there. Euro GBP is falling, so that's good. GBP JPY, actually, they closed that earlier today. It's just not doing anything. It's just hovering around this area here. So this is actually done with. And then we'll just need to clean up and see what's going on as far as what the next plan is. What I like to see is price break above this area here, or can come back down here to this area as a possible trading opportunity. Other than that, the only other next thing we got is this resistance up here that we could get into. So really, I like to see a close above this level. So I'd like to see a close above this level and then to come back for continuation there, or come down here. Those would be the two that I work with. If it starts looking clean down here, I might be able to drop down into like the 1 hour and see if we can get some trend trades in there, and see how that works out. So I'll take that off my actual list of trades I'm in. JPY, I'm waiting for price to get into this level here. I've already been hedged out of this one, so it's not the original trade didn't play out. Odd USD, waiting for this to just turn over. I mean, we're at a pretty high daily zone, and so I'm just waiting for a small bounce out of this, and we'll see where that goes. Euro CAD, same thing. It's been slowly, steadily falling down. I'd like to be able to get out of these two positions here at break even, or maybe even a small loss, but hopefully get it all covered with this sell from the high zone there. Oh, Euro JPY. So Euro JPY, I originally was in like a 4 hour trade somewhere in here, with the buy on this zone here, and ended up funneling through and breaking through. And it never actually came down here for me to get into another trade to get out of it. So now I'm just waiting for price to come up to this area here before I can look to get into a trade. And then NZD CHF, which is the one that has been in, I think the longest now. Well, no, I think one of the Euro pairs over there has been a little bit longer. So on the daily, I was expecting a sell out of one of these areas here. Never happened. Eventually got triggered into a buy because I wasn't exactly sure what was going to go on. So it looked like it was going to continue going up, and so I wanted to protect myself. So I got into a buy there, and just been hovering around these areas here. We had a small push into there. I thought about closing, but then this is only relevant because of this push here. And so if price is going to continue going up because of this uptrend, then why close there if I'm expecting it to make at least another higher high? The higher high area would be, of course, into this level here, where I expect some sort of reaction. So that'll be the plan. Once price gets up into here, then I'll close that buy, possibly look into getting to a sell with a, stops above the area right there, and then have it trail back down, probably until about something like that. So if price can get up in there and then kick back down, then I'll be able to close the buy in profit, close the sell a little bit of loss, but I'll also try to take a sell from that area if everything sets up right. So as it sits right now, that is where everything's at. And it's Friday, so it's going to be slow. Oh, I did have some stuff go off, but let's see if this actually played into effect. So this would be the one that we talked about earlier, would be in based upon the trade, CAD CHF. I was waiting for the trend line to close. I wasn't sure how this candle was going to close. I thought it was going to close strong bearish. If it was going to close strong bearish, 2 candle concept, looking for the next candle to continue on bearish. We didn't get that movement, so that was out of that. We are still rejecting this area here, so it does look pretty good. It's a pretty big area though, So what I'd like to see is probably for price to get back into that area here, close in there. Once this candle closes, this will be at 1. Once this candle closes, I might look, depending on how this candle closes, we could do 2 candle here, just use the wick as our potential zone for retest. So you've seen me with doing it with everything else. So same exact thing, just mark up the opening of that candle, the high, and about 50% somewhere in there, and then go down on a lower time frame and look for actual like structure, if there's any structure down there. If not, just take the 50% as is and leave it alone. Generally from time to time you see it. The wick will come into the 50% area, if not all the way back to the highs before it decides to move into a different direction. That didn't make it, but you understand. If you go back and you look at the charts, you would see that time and time again it happens. Of course, none of these times are going to be helpful to me. That actually went strong beyond it, which we have a plan for that. It breaks certain levels, then we're good to go. We're just anticipating a wick creation on in a particular zone, and then going with it. So I'll set that up and see how that plays out. Euro AUD, we had to look at that one. That's the one that we would be currently in. And then same thing here, is expecting a strong bearish candle close. It never happened. So not worried about that. We're still in this area here, but we didn't get a strong enough bounce out of this. And if we look at it, like we've created a higher low. And so this could be the area where it finally decides to break. And if that's the case, then we'll plan for that. Break up, come back down, test this area, and we'll be good to go. So I'll be waiting for a break, close below, close above this area, and we'll look for that. If not, then we'll come back here and looking for a close below this one. So we'll see how that works out and see where it goes. Other than that, I think that pretty much covers everything. Scroll through the alerts, we're good to go. So everything else is pretty much covered, and I will go about the day. Enjoy, and I'll see you if I see you. So I've just been sitting here taking these smaller trades on OddCAD. So I took on a 1 hour trade, just took a small break to the zone, wick creation, flip there, closed early once I realized I was actually a little bit too far on the 1 hour candle. Now I'm playing this as break and then a retest with the idea of the wick creation and a flip down to at least test the lows around this area. So I am down here on the 1 minute. Looks like we are still good to go. I am still in. So I got triggered in somewhere down here on one of these candles with spread a little bit. And so we'll just have to make sure as price comes up and hopefully test some of these highs that the spread doesn't kick me out. One of the downside of being down here on the lower time frame is spread really plays with you. And then any freak news, small news, large news, anything like that can really mess with you as well. So haven't had any, news is already played out, at least for this. There could be something that hits that isn't such as relevant that's appeared on Forex Factory. But we'll have to see how this plays out. So I already secured some profits here. It was like $3 or whatnot. Just risking 10. Yeah, so it's $3 on that one. So all in all, technically I'm only risking 7 if this gets closed out. So I'll lose 7. So we'll see how this goes. And I have until the end of this before the hourly candle closes. We'll see how it handles these next couple pushes up to retest before seeing if it falls down. All right, so ended up getting kicked out of that one. No problem. Just continue on the trading whenever trades pop up. So yeah, so that's about done. So yeah, it's all good. So just continue on. Like I said, I need to stay away from the hourly as appealing as it is. to want to be in and out of a trade, I should probably just stick with something a little bit longer. That way spreads don't mess up. Although that wasn't even a spread thing. I could imagine I could see if this had like come up here and pegged and then dropped, like be like, oh man, were you serious? Spreads? But it's not. It's hovering up here. So this is probably not going to at all fall. I mean, we have until one, it's two, I got 15 minutes now until it happens. Could it happen? Yes. But even so, even if it happened now, I still would have been out because it already pegged that area. So sticking with the little bit higher time frame, just so spreads aren't so much of an issue. And then help build that patience. Waiting for this. I had that set up from yesterday, so I was waiting for price to come down in there, give anything. Waiting for a close on this one. We already knew that. Another area up here. I'm not sure if this would be a viable one. I mean, let's look at this in the grand scheme of things. Sell. Oh, this is possibly a higher low. Okay, so lower high. Sorry, I had my things mixed up. It's possibly lower high. So this may respect this area, but it's Friday, so probably not going to take that trade even if it does set up. Waiting for a break above that. Expecting this to continue up off the daily. Got a break of the uptrend, pullback area, possible lower high creation. It would be nice to start seeing some breaks of this area here, these little structure areas. You even go a little bit further back to that right there. So break down from here and then come in a retest before continuation down. That would be nice. So something like so before we get down there. So yeah, that'd be pretty much it. I think that's pretty much it for the day. I will probably call it quits. It is Friday. I don't see any of these doing anything that needs any sort of management in the next 4 hours or so. So I wish you guys the best. Have a happy and blessed weekend. And I'll be in the office Monday and Tuesday, so I will not be recording anything. But come Wednesday, I will be back at it. So take care, be blessed, and thank you for tuning in.